lovely people. Welcome back to yet another amazing episode with Limitless Voices with Namono. And today I have amazing ladies with me here, Esther and Neema. I'm happy. Thank you for joining me, ladies. And we are going to be talking about a very pertinent issue, conflict resolution. Years back, I thought I could run away from conflict, but hey, as they say, adulting can mean to adult. Here I am, and I get to realize that I can't run away from conflict, and it's me to learn how to work through it. And I have these ladies who have lived experiences, and they are going to share with us. Have they ever had a conflict? Or no? Then if they've not had a conflict, you are going to wonder which world have they been living in. So we are going to start with Auntie Esther. Have you ever experienced conflict? You can give us an example. How was it? Just share for us a picture for us in that area.
Thank you very much. Yes, conflicts are part of life. As human beings, we cannot run away from conflicts because they are things that we go through, and because we are people who have different values, different thinkings, we will have to clash a little bit. But they are beautiful because at the end of it all, when you get to realize how to deal with conflict, it becomes something that is bearable. So I want to share a little experience about a conflict I had.
Yes, we would like to hear that. Exactly.
I had a conflict with my very own brother. He's our very firstborn. It was about the house. Yes, our house in Tororo.
All right.
So he had put people to stay in the house, telling them that these people will never come back to Tororo. Okay. They have settled in Kampala and they are doing well. And so one time we lose a relative in the village, and then we call him and tell him, hey, we will have to spend a night in our home because we will have the burial the next day.
Yes.
And because he knew what he had done, he didn't respond to our calls. We kept calling and calling, but he couldn't respond. So what I did is I texted him. I told him I'm on my way to the village and I would want to go home. So call whoever is there and ask them to open the door.
Okay.
And guess what? When we reached home, there were people living in our home.
What?
Yes, something he had never told us about, because maybe we had taken long without being in the village, and that did not go well with me. So in that way, we had a bit of conflict with him. We wanted him to try and explain why he could do something like that without letting any of us know, because it is something that can be done.
Exactly.
Talk to your siblings, tell them, hey, there's this situation, what can we do? But keeping quiet is not solving a problem.
Yeah.
So we got into a bit of conflict there. It wasn't really good. So as the four of us, we decided, no, let's show him a lesson. Let's show him. We are going to,
that lesson that he really showed.
We are going to evict this guy and his entire family from our house. And of course, you know, them not taking care of the home was looking in its own way, and because we really value environment and the just space that is clean.
And also just well taken care of.
Exactly. So it wasn't really taken good care of, and for me it didn't go well with me. So we get there and it was late in the evening.
And remember, you said you wanted to show him.
Exactly. I really wanted to show him.
Yes.
And it is late in the evening. He tells me, hey, where are you going to sleep?
Okay. All right.
Okay. This is our home. And I have a bedroom. Yes. And this is our space. What are you talking about? No, your brother said you're no longer coming back. So he tells us this is our space. I'm like, you got that wrong. Yeah. This is not real. Yeah. So because it involves children and they're already sleeping in the bedrooms, I told him, okay, I'll have a night in the sitting room as we sort these things out in the morning. So also because in the morning I was rushing to go for the burial,
I had to put it on hold until I come back. Guess what happened when
Esther, I like the way you're saying you had to put it on hold.
Yes, because it was boiling within me. I wanted to show this guy that no, this is our home and we can always come at any time that we want. And so, to cut the long story short, I called my auntie because she stays around. I called her and told her, hey, what do we do in a situation like this? And she advised the people who were staying in the house to move to the boys' quarter and let us organize the main house. And so, and until that time, my brother was not picking his phone call. He was not responding to messages. And things were boiling within me. And what kind of person is this? What has it become? You know? And so the guy eventually went to the boys' quarter with so many words to say. But we started in the process of organizing the home, and I can assure you that we kind of got into terms of him having to stay at the boys' quarter while taking care of the home, but also to let his other extended family go back to where they were supposed to be. And so home has now become home again. I can tell you that we go back exactly. We are still working on many more things, but right now it is open to anyone. Anyone can go, any of us, and we enjoy the place so much.
Wow, amazing. Esther, thank you for sharing that story of an example of the conflict that you've been through. And I hear so many things coming through. I hear you saying, I said, let me put it on a pause. Then I hear you say, I was boiling inside. So I would like to throw it to Neema. Neema, Esther was boiling inside. I know we have very many different types of conflicts. To the viewer, the other side, would you help us understand those different types of conflict? You can start with the one where Esther is saying, I was boiling inside. So let's start from there.
Yes. Again, I'm Neema, and I love this topic because it's an everyday thing that we go through. Whether we know it or we don't know it, we are always having something going on deep inside. So I want to talk about conflicts as a whole. You can look at conflict and you don't know how it started, but it could have started long even before you knew it within yourself. And then within yourself, it kept escalating and kept growing into something. So I'm looking at boiling inside.
Actually, that is one thing that sometimes when you think about conflict, it's me and Esther, me and Neema, me against another group. But I would like us to explore the intra part, where it's maybe between Susan and Susan. It's me in my mind and battling inside my mind.
So the intra part of it is literally conflict within you. It is happening inside of you, but you don't want to call it conflict for some reason, and you're just tapping it a little, like being sometimes you think you're being paranoid with yourself. You have a feeling, a sense that something is wrong, but you can't quite put your hand on it. So when that is avoided, or when you keep pushing that feeling down, it will escalate to something else. And then before you know it,
you're
doing something that you didn't expect you would do. So that's intra. And I think we could avoid that, but it doesn't just come easily, because first of all, you do know if you could name it a conflict. So you kept pushing that feeling down, and it kept growing. It doesn't mean it's not there. It just needs something to spark it off.
You remember these things like what sparked off the French Revolution? There were these many factors, but what was the spark factor?
That's right.
So here we also have a spark that leads to someone feeling like, now this is enough.
So that brings in discomfort within you. That is now a level. Conflict keeps graduating from one level to another. If it's not handled early, it graduates to something else. That feeling you kept pushing caused discomfort. And now this discomfort that you have something is going on, and you fail to do something about it, and you kept pushing it, the discomfort kept growing into incidences. Now you have that discomfort that has grown into incidents. That is a level. And then someone does something, and your interpretation of what they've done, because of what you had, the feeling you had inside of you earlier on, that discomfort led to you misinterpreting the incidences that are happening. And before you know it, there's mistrust. You don't trust the other person. And therefore, because of the mistrust and the incidences that you misinterpreted, interpreted earlier on, it led to misunderstanding. Now you're going to misunderstand everything this person does.
They do something and you're like, oh, I've not done that. Even I knew it.
Yes, I knew it. I felt it. So that is the problem of pushing things down and not wanting to handle them. That's why you'll find two women in the market fighting and pulling their clothes and wigs are flying. And
and now that is what we love,
because we kept pulling things down and we didn't want to handle them. But now, knowing that we go through stages of conflicts, it's always good to identify, okay, is there a problem deep down inside? Can I handle this? Can I come out? Can I be the first person to take that step?
And say, hey, this is what I'm feeling. Help me understand. Did I hear this? Because sometimes when we don't seek for clarity, someone once said, if you're looking for evidence, you're always going to get the evidence.
Right.
And it might not be evidence pointing directly to a specific incident that you want, but because you want, the evidence is going to be there. So seeking clarity is really very key. And then sometimes you're like, Miss Susan, how would I be the first person to go and say, hey Esther, I have a problem. Oh, this is what you've done to me and I don't like it. Can we have a conversation? Help us also explore in that area, like since you're in that same line.
You see, our pride prevents us from many things. So there's this thing my father used to say, for a marriage to blossom, one party has to be foolish to allow to take in all the
I agree.
Things
strongly agree.
And then
I have a question for Esther. Since you strongly agree, we'll explore the foolishness part of it.
So I think if you know something is brewing inside, there's something you don't like that makes you uncomfortable, that's making you misinterpret things. You don't want to be the bitter version of you. So it's good always to stoop so low. Go and approach the person. It's important to approach that person and explain to them how you're feeling. Because if you keep on pushing it in, you're going to become bitter, very angry. Before you know it, you're the women fighting in the market
or at the workplace, at the neighborhood,
venting it to each and everyone you find, thinking that you putting the blame that you would have solved at home, take it to work. Take it now like to the kids that we work with,
and it becomes a mess. They look at you and you're an angry person just because of something that you've not resolved.
So what these lovely ladies are telling us is we should be self-aware, or self-awareness is a very great piece that really helps us in conflict resolution, for you to know what really triggers me off. Is it when someone says something about my mom? Is it when someone does not communicate? So understand your triggers so that when it happens, you're like, okay, Susan, I like how Esther said, let's put this on hold. And with these amazing ladies, we are reading a book. It's called Ikigai, the Japanese secret to happiness and long life. And in that book, there is a segment where this guy says, meditation is a very great key. And he gives a scenario. He says, if you feel angry, like Esther said,
Yes.
hold on it for how many days?
3 days. Yes.
And if after the 3 days you still feel the same, actually he says after the 3 days you feel like it has phased off, you won't feel the same way. So he encourages us to hold on to things. So Aunt Esther,
Yes.
in that regard, you said you held on.
That's true.
And you didn't go to face him immediately.
Yes.
What was your reason behind saying, let me first hold it, I'm boiling, but let me put this on hold? Yes.
I think the program that I was going to do that the next day really helped me.
Yes.
And also him not responding to my messages
Yes.
kept me thinking, what is he thinking in his mind?
Yes.
I mean, this is not the kind of person who does this.
Yes.
And because of that prolonged wait, and also the barrier took a bit long, now I started calming down within me. Yeah. And also because my auntie kind of helped calm the situation down, I calmed down. I said, okay, this is actually workable. So my auntie insisted, you know what? We need to call him and we talk to him and get to know why he did something like this. Yes. So I agree with that guy who said we wait for at least 3 days before you do. Because I'm telling you, if I had done it that day, even I would have not minded whether he's my elder brother. I was just going to give it to him clear. And I really thank God.
Someone says, I'm going to give them a piece of my mind.
Right, that's right. I am grateful that it took that long. He waited. I don't know whether because he was blue ticking my messages and he was not responding. One, maybe because he knew he was wrong and he wanted to find a better way of bringing it to me. Yeah, and also I am grateful that sometimes in such incidences, there are people that you have to seek out for. Like I sought my auntie out. I'm like, hey, this is the situation at hand. How are we going to solve it in a way that is amicable? And I am grateful when she came in, and because she was an adult, when she spoke to the guy that was working at the place, he listened to her. So I was thinking, if it was me with the anger, the annoyance, and also the death of my uncle, it would have been so bad. But I'm grateful we involved another party that really played a great role.
And remember, you also wanted to give it to him
clean. I was ready to do that, but I'm grateful I didn't.
Esther, that's very good. I've never talked about something about foolishness, and I think I just want, you know, sometimes how they say humility is weakness. So I would like you to just help others to help explore for the other person listening to us. Does foolishness mean someone comes and just stomps on you? It's like you a rag or a doormat. Is that what it means with the foolishness? Because I know her dad used it as and I saw you agree strongly, like
that's true. That's true. One, because I'm married, and those situations always show up where you both think you're right, and if one person doesn't seem to go low, then the house is going to be on fire. Like everyone would have flipped, and if the other doesn't say, okay, even if I'm right, let me be the one to be a little foolish. Let me be the one to calm the situation down. And then it is very good for you to, by the way, that is strength in itself. We may call it foolishness, but there is a lot of strength in calming the situation down. Because then you are going to think clearly. Like, okay, how did this come up? You know, what are we supposed to do in this situation? And so, because you're the calm one, you will bring his ego a little bit down and say, hey, let us come to a middle ground. How do we want to make this work? And because it is kind of, the guy will always be, no, it is me who is right, it is me who is right. And because you want to make peace, you say, okay, I am sorry. You know, sorry is a very good word to resolve any conflict. Just saying, hey, I'm sorry. Can we talk about it? Or are you okay to talk about it later? Or can you text me? Or can you just do anything? But just know it is me and I am sorry. It is a very magic word.
So that is the magic word we should carry as we are aspiring to go to the other side of life.
Very true. Carry that on.
voice
That's
is
true.
important.
That's very true.
And I think that happens in misunderstandings. Then every party now wants to, there's a misunderstanding already, but there's this thing of the priding, and then also
I'm the one who is right.
we are all going to show our strong sides. No one wants to be weak. Therefore, I'm right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So I'm right and you're wrong, but no one wants to admit I'm wrong. So that's the problem. It keeps escalating into something else.
And you know, sometimes we have arguments. I remember way back, we would argue, and the goal was not sometimes to resolve the conflict, but yes, I want to show you I was the one who was on the what? On the right.
Yeah.
And ladies, we've gone through the resentment form.
Oh, yes.
What would you say about the resentment form? Who wants to take us through the resentment form?
I think resentment form,
or maybe some of the things within there that would be really good for the viewers.
One of the things that stood out for me on that form is who hurt me. Who hurt me, therefore, what was my part in this? I think that stands out for me because identifying the source of what you think is your problem is important. And then also what was my part in this conflict helps me view things not to apportion blame, but to look at also me as the cause of the current issue at hand. So it helps me calm down and also humble myself to a point that I know that it's not only one party that has contributed to the conflict. Both of us
have contributed to it.
So those two stand out for me in the
Wow. I love the resentment form that we are talking about. Is just a simple tool that can help you resolve conflict. But the most thing that I like about it, like Neema is saying, it allows deep reflection. That's true. One, about the conflict itself. Two, going deeper. I had someone who used to, a program we were part of, and every time they would introduce the topic, let's say conflict resolution, and then he explained and says, ladies and gentlemen, we are going deeper. So we are at this point going deeper, and what I mean is you're allowing introspection now to take place. You're thinking through to see what was my role. Did I contribute to this conflict? Because that is very hard to accept and say, hey, Susan, you had a part to play in this area. And I think it's so good as individuals for us to just go deeper and understand. Yes, true, Neema hurt me. But then, what role did I contribute in this? So I think that is really very, very, very important. So Esther, do you have something to say on the resentment form?
Oh yes, there is one more thing that I also felt was very key in the resentment form, and that was journaling it down. You have a conflict and you feel you can't really speak to the person at the moment. You want to go back and think about it and hey, like Neema has said, what part did I contribute to doing this? If I can't talk to the person now, maybe I can journal it down. And in the process of journaling it down, you're writing down your feelings, you're writing down everything that could or may have caused that conflict. And by doing that, some of the anger is going away. Some of those things that you would have talked to him, you're putting them in the book. You're getting relieved. And by the time you're done with that, you are not the same. It is different.
I keep telling people that in my journal is where you find my worst handwriting.
That's
you
true.
know why? Because sometimes I think it's the anger within, and sometimes we never notice. So when I get down track, even I write wrong, like I keep skipping words. Sometimes I go back and read and I'm like, wow, if I had gotten to this person before writing here, I would have showed them what I'm made of. So what this resentment form, I know you may be there wondering, how can I use it? So this resentment form, the first thing you need to do is write down who hurt you. Is it Susan? Then say, Susan. What did she do? Maybe she stepped on my toes, yet I had cleaned them. By the way, I don't like stepping on my toes. I don't know. Actually, that's something that annoyed me way back in school. You know, as petty as it is. Because I would scrub them so well. If I have my open shoes and then someone just steps on them, oh God, you guys will crush me. As petty, yes, as petty as it is it that did they say something about you that you didn't like? Then write it down. But then also go down to say, how did it make me feel? I was angry, maybe I was disappointed, I was frustrated, and then after saying how you felt, also go down and say, what role did I contribute? You see that part? What role did I contribute? And then write down clearly what you did that you think contributed to this. Were you also walking badly? Were you on your phone texting that you could not see where you're going, so you bumped into each other? That can be a role that you have played in this conflict. And then what are you going to do? Because the greatest piece here is now forgiveness. That's right. When are you committing to forgive them? You might forgive, but it's also a process that we need to go through. So you can write down where you think, okay, I want to forgive them, and then start on that journey. It's not easy. I know these ladies will agree with me. When conflict happens, sometimes we are really hurt. So we need to be willing to let go of what that person has done, because then when we forgive, like Esther said, journaling, it helps us to relieve ourselves of the anger, but live a very free life. So if you would like to use that as a tool, please feel free to use it. I know it will be very helpful to you. We are almost at the end, reaching the end, but before we do, I would like to hear from these ladies. There is something that always happens. Burn bridges. You have conflict. No, for me, I'm tired. I don't need friends now. It's okay. I'm going to put a boundary. I don't need them anymore. So at what point what are your views on burning bridges? Should we burn? Should we not burn? What would you say about that?
Personally, I would say it may differ from person to person.
Yes.
I think it can be good, and it can help you see things clearly.
Yes.
Sometimes you've been having this best friend, finally they've been doing certain pattern of things, and you kept letting it just escape, like you let it go. But now at this point, you are done. You can't take it anymore.
I like even the tone of voice changes.
It's too much. So if you don't want to keep the friendship, it's okay, but you can socialize with them. You can talk to them. You don't have to hold them back in your heart. You don't have to be rude to them. Sometimes you will have some disagreements at some point, but that's also the point where you will have to now lay boundaries and say, okay, you were my friend, too close. Now it is time to put a space in between. Please be there.
Maybe from the inner close circle, now they are in a slightly outer circle.
Oh yes. Now that is the point where if you feel like they are becoming toxic on your part, it's okay to let them out of your inner circle. But keep socializing. Who knows? That could help them.
That's true.
So it's okay to burn bridges. A friend once said that.
And
it's also okay if you think there's something bringing that in between you two, and you think it can be solved. Who knows?
So we can, or we may not. Let's hear from Esther. I see she has something to add. Some
now,
wisdom.
In the story that I told you, it is very hard for me to say that I would have burnt that bridge. Because he's my blood brother. And also, this is something that was going to be workable. It is just us coming to an agreement and saying, okay, this is what happened and it was not right. So how do we get back to that? Because I will need him eventually. And truth be told, a few months later, I have a brother who follows me who is in the process of getting married. And guess who is going to be speaking on our behalf? And that is what makes it interesting. We all had to gather ourselves up as angry as we were and told him, hey, you are the big boy here. You are going to make these hard calls to this boy. You are going to do everything that is required for the brother to go in his marriage in a safe way. We are not going to put up faces and pretend. Let's get done with this and we move on smoothly. And so sometimes if it involves like blood relations, it is so hard to burn bridges. It is just you allowing yourselves to work the conflict out and then come up with something that is helpful for all of you.
Okay, amazing. So what we are hearing is that sometimes where we have had enough and you're like, enough is enough. Boom! You're cutting this bridge. But also we are hearing that that sometimes we're like, okay, until when will I burn everyone out? This is something that we can work through. Let me be able to work through. And also one thing that comes from that is us setting boundaries through what Neema was saying. A very important aspect. Sometimes people think when we set boundaries, we are setting up walls. I think walls and boundaries are different, but it's good to set a precedence of how you want people to treat you.
That's true.
And when you do, you'll have more peace, because sometimes there are people who are toxic over and over again. Even after you have conversations, it's the same thing. So in such incidences, if it has failed, it's you to draw back and then set a boundary and say, hey, if you want to talk about this, I'm not available. Because every time we talk about it,
we end up conflicting again.
But maybe it's a specific topic I don't want to talk about. Because every time you bring it, it reminds me of bad memories, bad things. And I tell you, Esther, when we meet, let us not talk about this specific issue. Let's talk about other issues. So I think setting boundaries is really very key. So ladies, as we finish up, what's that one thing you would like the other person, like a takeaway as we deal with conflict? What is that one thing that has worked for you that you would like to share with everyone?
I'll go first.
Yes.
Why? Because we've all faced conflicts in life, and we will not say we'll avoid conflict. They'll keep coming, and it's okay. But how do you go about this conflict is important, and you should learn to identify that there's conflict going on. First step is identify. If you don't identify that this is escalating into something, you're going to let it slide, and you're going to keep on pushing it down, and before you know it, you're up to the crisis level. Now, of course, like earlier on, I mentioned fighting and wigs flying in the marketplace because you kept pushing it down. So it's good to always arrest it earlier. Go, take the first step. Be humble enough to go and say, let's handle this. I don't want to lose the friendship. I don't want us to be this kind of people who will always look at each other like enemies. You can handle certain things. So handle that earlier before it goes into something else. So, and also healthy boundaries help us see things clearly. So it's good to set those boundaries. So and also the other, lastly, is pray about it. As a believer, I believe that you can never handle conflicts on your own. You need to pray about it, and you need to learn to forgive people before you become a bitter version of you. Or you make them do things. Before you know it, you make the other person do things they shouldn't be doing. So yes, pray about it and forgive them, and have grace when handling certain things. That's all I can say.
Thank you, Neema, for those parting shots that you have really shared with us. So we are going to hear from the lovely lady.
Yes, thank you very much. I want to also share something very briefly about how I've been able to manage conflict, especially in my marriage. So for me, when
I think, Esther, we need to just come back.
Very true.
You talk to us again.
Very, very true about that, because I really have a lot of that. But the way I have been able to calm the situations down in my marriage is keeping peace at all costs. Whatever it takes, you must have
peace at the end of the day. And also saying that magic word, I am sorry.
Wow.
I didn't hear you well. What did you mean to say here?
Is this
what you meant? Or it is me who misinterpreted what you said? And that calms the situation. It's like, oh, so she really had bad, you know? And just being able to calm down at all times and say, hey, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I just misunderstood. I just had you said the wrong. And I'm telling you, because conflicts are going to be there every day in marriage, every day. And so if you can't be that lady that is going to always calm the situations down and seeking peace instead of justification, then it is going to be so hard for you to live in a marriage like that. And it reminds me of the verse in the Bible where it says, I would rather live on top of the roof than live with a nagging wife in the house. So nagging wife. So it would rather you be the one to calm situations down all the time. It is okay for him to feel superior, but at the end of the day, is there peace in the house? Because home is home. You want to feel that ambience of, wow, I am home. But if there is tension in a home, then it ceases to be home. So for me, I have sought peace at all times. And like Neema said, prayer. There's a way prayer calms the situations down. Every time it amounts, the pressure is up there, you go back to that secret room and say, hey, Papa, this is where we're at. Come and see us, and it is beautiful. Thank you.
I love it how you say, hey, Papa. Let's personalize these prayers. So ladies, Neema, thank you for joining me today. Esther, thank you for joining me today. Thank you for being willing to share your experiences. And as we wind up, one thing I would like to say, we are human beings. And God has created us in such a way that we treasure relationships. We shall desire for them. So what does that mean? We have different views, different perspectives, so we are going to be in conflict. But like I was beginning, I said, that should not be the end of the story where there is conflict and you're like, boo, down. Seek out the person. Seek out the person, and when you do, this will help you to talk over things, and when you do, it will help you reach an agreement. So with hope you found this very helpful, and please, if you did, please consider subscribing. Go down, look for that subscribe button, just hit it, and let's keep growing this community. Thank you so much from us to you, for you watching, and for the data you keep investing. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.